Hey guys, what's happening? NoZoupForYou here, and you are watching a round of ranked gameplay from this current season of ranked gameplay. And I know for many of you, this season has been an extremely large challenge. I know it's been a challenge for myself. I know everybody isn't really that happy right now with this season of ranked, and there's many reasons for that. Actually, the main reason for that is just Tier 10 gameplay right now has been absolutely abysmal. It's been horrid. I mean, people get there and they're just frustrated and everything else. It hasn't been fun. And this round right now you're watching, obviously, the Hindenburg, which this was my first round in the Hindenburg. It was suggested that I play it by another individual, and I'll get to the reason why I'm playing it and why it is an optimal choice for ranked gameplay this season, though not really for the right reasons. And that just brings us to another point and another issue with ranked gameplay. So the first problem right now is just Tier 10 in general, and it's not Tier 10. You know, Tier 10 is a challenge for some people. Maybe they haven't played Tier 10 a lot. They don't know where they fit in Tier 10 meta. They might be a destroyer player, finding it hard to play destroyers in ranked gameplay because of the overabundance of radar, and they just can't adapt. So it's not everybody that hates Tier 10, and I actually enjoy Tier 10. I spend probably the vast majority playing Tier 10 on the public side, so I'm not a stranger to Tier 10, though in the very beginning I did have a little bit of an issue finding where I fit in the scheme of Tier 10, again because I really like Tier 10 destroyers, and they just weren't working out for me. I had to make some changes. So it's not the fact that ranked this season is Tier 10 that's the problem. That isn't the problem. The problem is with the irrevocable rank being rank 10. That is the big problem. And I'm not going to defend wargaming on this. It wasn't a smart decision, but I think they did it thinking they were going to help the community. I think they chose 10 as the irrevocable rank, thinking that by doing that, they would kind of allow a lot of people to get in higher, and I know they did it out of the goodness of their hearts, but it just turned out to be horrible. It allowed too many players to get to the Tier 10 gameplay too quick and didn't allow for a separation. The ceiling, in a way, is too high right now. You're allowed to fall too far with players that probably shouldn't be down at Tier 10 at this point, or at least in the very beginning stages of ranked. And the problem by having that irrevocable rank at Tier 10 or rank 10 was that the players that should have got weeded out and bumped back down into the Tier 8 gameplay weren't allowed to do so. They just kind of got stuck at Tier 10 hovering around. And you know, it's nothing against those players. It just created a huge bottleneck around rank 10 that didn't allow the decent players to really progress at all, and they just kind of got stuck with the players that maybe they don't have any business being there at this moment. Maybe they're just not as good as rank, haven't played rank as much. For whatever reason, they're there, and it just created a huge bottleneck. It just was not very productive. So I think Wargaming is definitely going to learn from their mistake moving forward in next rank season. I mean, we can only hope, right? Because I really don't want to suffer through this again. I think last season I got down to rank number 5, and it was fairly enjoyable. I enjoyed it. And the reason I didn't go further again is just time. You know, everybody has a finite amount of time, and ranked is about being able to put the grind in, being able to just play as much as possible. I mean, even a bad player is going to get to rank 1 if they put in enough time. And if you don't have the time to do it, you can't do it. So this season, I don't see myself getting to rank 5. Again, I don't have the time, but I just don't have the patience this season. I just really don't. And I know I mentioned stars and I think why to play the Hindenburg earlier in this video. There is a distinct reason for that, and a lot of players are moving towards the Hindenburg. The Hindenburg is really well suited for rank because it puts out a lot of damage both in its AP and HE, and on top of that, it is a very sturdy ship. It is very stout. Again, this was my first game in the Hindenburg. I had not kept a single star up until this round, until someone suggested I play the Hindenburg. And, you know, I enjoy the Hindenburg. It's a great cruiser, probably one of my favorites. I do fairly decent with it outside of rank, so I'm like, alright, I'll take the advice, I'll give it a try, and I'll be flat out honest. I went into this round with the sole intention of keeping my star if it came down to it, which that's not really a great way to play. And it's not good that ranked gameplay is condoning this style of gameplay. But I took the Hindenburg. I went in saying, you know what? I'm going to pump out a lot of damage if I can. I'm going to do what I can to help my team. But I also want to keep my star because I am very, very tired of losing stars. Very, very tired. So you can see I've just been kind of zigging and zagging and throwing my HE up there for the most part right now, trying to set those fires on these battleships. And again, you know, that's not really the best team gameplay in the world right there. It just isn't. And this is the bigger problem with stars. Too many players, and this has been going on season after season after season. It's not this season alone. Players are playing to keep stars instead of helping the team. And granted, I'm doing my best to help the team right now by running interference and just putting out as much damage as possible and getting as close as I can to try and keep these ships from moving into cap at A and everywhere else. You know, I'm still pumping out damage in somewhat of a selfish manner just to keep myself in a position where I can keep my star when it comes down to it. You know, I'm at 77,000 damage right now off of 5 fires. And again, that's a testament to the Hindenburg right here, because I've been in a position too where I've taken a lot of shots. You know, by the time this round ends, and I had 3.3 million potential damage thrown at me. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Most cruisers cannot withstand that. And I had a lot of shells hitting me. But again, Hindenburg, German cruisers, troll armor, and again, you know, firing at a Yamato at distance, trying to set a fire, trying to eat up damage. And you know, I want to throw a disclaimer up. This is really not the way you should be playing ranked. It isn't. But the current setup forces you to play this way if you want to keep your star. And keeping a star really should not be an option. I don't think it should be an option at all. They need to get rid of that moving forward and just figure out some other way to reward players, because I don't like it. I don't like playing in a manner that, you know, I'm only helping my team so much, you know, only yay much, because I want to help myself even more keep that star when the inevitable loss happens. And you know it's going to happen. It's the way it's been. It's the way this season's been. It's the way ranked has been in general. But I just don't think stars are healthy for the game right now. They're not. But on the flip side, again, if you're looking for a new ship to play, if you've been having trouble in ranked gameplay and you're a halfway decent Hindenburg captain, Hindenburg's worth a try. It is definitely worth a try. I mean, like I said, it's got that troll armor. The ship is stout. It can take a beating. It can eat Yamato shells if it has to. It can eat Montana shells fairly easily if you're just remotely angled. So pick the ship up, try it. I've passed 110,000 damage at this point, just trucking on even upwards, trying to get as much damage in as possible, doing everything I can to keep this star, since it's now quite obvious we're going to lose this round. At this point, it's just about getting as much damage as possible, which, again, listen guys, I played this round completely selfishly. I did it with the sole intention of keeping a star in mind, partly to produce this video, just to kind of gripe about the problems with ranked gameplay right now and how this season has not been the most fun. And I think the majority of you will agree with me on that. It has not been a season for ranked. It just hasn't. And here, look, my damage is just... this is junk time damage right now. We've lost, we're about to lose, but I'm still just throwing up damage. I'm pegging this Yamato with AP, you know, 8,000 hit points off of him. Just throwing out as much damage as possible to just ensure I keep that star. 7 fires. Yeah, the Hindenburg is a great ship. Look at that AP just landing, you know, Minotaur firing at me. There's the high caliber, which pretty much guarantees it in rank this season. And this round's gonna wind up finished here. You know, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose here. But despite losing, I'm gonna finish up with about 150k damage, which, you know, the Hindenburg can do very easily in ranked gameplay. Not in the right ways. Not up front supporting your team like a Des Moines, but what's the payoff in that? What's the benefit to doing that if you know if you lose you're not going to keep your star? And you're just going to get stuck down at tier 9 or tier 10 there in no man's land having a miserable time. And this destroyer over here is going to finally finish me off, and that's going to end the round right here. Time's going to tick out, and boom. I'm going to keep my star. Do I feel good about it? No, not completely. Gonna at least keep somewhat forward momentum alive, but no, it's not good for the game. It's not good for ranked. So there's my thoughts. There's my mini rant, and you all know I don't really rant that much or get rankled up about much stuff. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Interested to hear your feelings on ranked gameplay and how you think we can fix it. But I am out.